Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Beyond the Game on the Idea Television. On the show, we go beyond the game to champion integrity and inclusivity in sports through cutting-edge technology, research, and innovation. I am Dearest Stumba, and today's episode promises to be a very interesting one as it affects women in sports. But before we bring all of that to you, we'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll be introducing the topic to you. And of course, I have a special guest with me on the show. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Beyond the Game on Idea Television. Of course, today I am joined with a football coach and a sports analyst. And he's none other than Tebit Fred. Good afternoon, coach.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
How?
And please, must I say, Hala Madrid.
Always.
I wanted to say that for the longest time. Anyways, let's get straight to the topic of the day. We'll be talking about fairness in sports with emphasis on equal pay between female and male athletes. Fairness in sports for women has been a critical issue and a growing movement over the years. While progress has been made, there are still significant challenges women faces in the world of sports. To join the conversation, please follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television or email us directly at ideatelevision@gmail.com. Coach, welcome to the show once again.
My pleasure.
Over time, women have been clamoring for equal pay. I go, yes, men's sports earn more, they do this, they do that. But what is the main problem why women earn lesser than the men in the world of sport?
Well, it has come a very long way, from understanding the history of how sports came to existence and then how things are being run in, the domain of sport.
Okay.
I'll touch football, but I'll touch other sports, There's a whole lot about women or ladies and the female category and the male category when it comes to sport. The gender itself, it's in quotes, a deficit. I mean, to the female side. Why? Because their body, first of all, their body is very delicate. most of the times, some parents will not like to send. I'm talking about the social aspect now. Most of the time, some parents will not want their kids to get into sports. To just want them, wait for the right time, follow their education, and then perhaps get a career, and then boom, get married and stuff like that. That's the delicate part of the body. Yeah, because not every parent will want the child to be, robust, physically built, kind of. So, and then another issue about, it's that of, enduring. The female body is made in such a way that it can't take those hard things. That's those hard training, stuff like that. But thank God, things are beginning to unfold and the energy is coming and the world is moving. So perhaps someday, sometime, all those things will be brought to light and it will be good.
All right, so let me take you back to the biblical setting. Now,
that God created man before woman.
and brought out a rib from Adam and made
Yeah.
woman out of it. So, naturally speaking,
Yeah.
no, biologically speaking, men are stronger than women. But regardless, women work as hard as men. So why does women
do you think
earn less than men? So let's not even talk about how the men and women bodies built, because obviously we know that men physically. But the truth is, women, for me, I want to see women as superheroes because their body goes through different changes, and yet they can and still perform in sports. We've seen lots of athletes bounce back from giving birth and still playing and winning. Serena Williams, using her as a case study. At some point in her career, she was pregnant and she played with pregnancy. So let's not even talk about the biological differences between men and women. That shouldn't be a reason why men and women earn differently. But before we continue now, the issue of unequal pay for women in sports is one of the most prominent and persistent thing that has happened, like recurring issue over time. I want you to hit on why does the men earn more than women when women work twice as hard as men just to be seen, understanding that yes, I mean understanding that because we are women, right? We go through hormonal changes, our body changes, right? And we bounce back from all of this to still perform.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't they earn as much as men?
It's difficult for women. It will be difficult. Not that it will never happen. It will be difficult for women to earn like men in sports. Though some disciplines men do earn like, and there's some discipline that women do earn even more than men. Yeah. For example, in tennis and volleyball and, particularly tennis, volleyball, particularly beach volleyball, women do earn there more than men. And one of the reasons why it can't be in other sports is because of one, you have the sponsorship, TV rights, and moreover again, the marketing is not marketed, though they market it, but it's not like that of the men. You understand? And then TV right, not every person, loves football, and TV can only go where not every nation loves the female football. So TV right can only go whereby they can make their own money. Where the crowd will be there to watch, people will be there to watch, they'll do the payment and everything. So it will be difficult, particularly in the case of football. Football, I thank God women football is developing. You go back to the history of football. Football was founded, like the history of the World Cup. Football was founded early in the 80s during the slave trade era, where some slaves were playing football somewhere. go and sit down and watch. So definitely, if you look at it with time, tennis will even have an edge in terms of payment.
I mean, they might not have
over
an edge, but the equal payment
there's equal payment, which is good. But look at football. You know, football is a man thing. There's no doubt about it. When you even go to the pitch and you look at the way the ladies they play and the way the men are playing, you know, there's a whole lot of technicality, a whole lot of flair. I mean, fitness with the men.
Can I disagree? Sorry to cut short, coach. Can I disagree with you on that one? When you said football is a man's sport, I disagree with you on this one.
Let me give you a reason why I said it's a man's sport.
All right.
There's no female founder when it comes to football. From the origin of football, it was a man. It was a men thing. That's why I said that football is a men thing, not a woman or a women thing.
But unfortunately for you, women play football. And we've seen great players. We've seen Aitana Bonmati, we've seen Rapinoe, we've seen Alexia Putellas, Sam Kerr, and many more. So yeah, both men and women play football, and we will love it.
That's why it took them over half a century to begin the female football. You know, you can look at when the first World Cup was played in the 1930s. Look at when they developed the female football in the 1990s. So there's a whole huge gap there. You understand it? So now, for us to bridge that gap, you know, it needs time. I'm not saying one day they will not receive equal pay. Okay. But for now, the female, please listen to me. Just accept it this way, you know. With time, you guys will get on your own as equal as that of the men. All
right. So let me give you an instance. In soccer, the prize pool for men's FIFA World Cup, right, is $440 million. While the prize pool for FIFA Women's World Cup is only $30 million. Now, I think that's like very impassioned. I think this is, you can just see the gap. $440 million for winning the World Cup, the male division. Right. And I'm sure that's what Argentina and Lionel Messi was paid in 2022. And for Bonmati and her fellows.
You know I'm laughing, right?
Why? I want to know.
You know I'm laughing? I'm laughing because, you know, the gap is so huge, man. 400 and something million. You know, against 20 million. The gap
30
is so
million,
huge. Against 30
pardon.
million.
Yeah.
The gap is so huge. And, well, sorry for the ladies. Just take it that way. We'll see how we can increase it. We'll see how we can increase it. With time, we'll increase it. We understand it, and you should know one of the reasons why it can't go that way. But this is a reason from the quarter. Yeah, it's not really water type, but it should be taken into consideration. No man go like for get a woman for house, me woman can't get money pass up.
Oh wow! Okay.
You understand? Because man, women. I will say this in pidgin. I don't say women don't like money. And now why the chase? Want to be independent. Whereby, you know, just like in the outside world, you find women divorcing. Guardiola, not the same thing. Because woman discover, say, na so football, they get this, they don't divorce the man, and they ask for £80 million. You know, if women become that powerful, this one now just quarter talk. Men believe if women become that powerful, because definitely the money comes from the men. And giving it to the women, if they become more powerful, you know women and they will
Let's take it outside sports.
Yeah.
In politics, we've seen women doing great things while still being married to their husband. In the entertainment industry, I don't even want to mention names. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Okay, let me mention Beyonce. She's married to an equally, superstar in the person of Jay-Z. So if women are doing it on other industries, are you saying they cannot do the same in sports? Being richer at home than your partner shouldn't be the reason why women shouldn't earn more. Or at least the pay gap shouldn't be too much. Over time, women have been clamoring. God rest her soul. Gianna Bryant, she's the late daughter of the late Kobe Bryant. She was advocating for equal pay in the NBA and the WNBA. But it didn't, she died at some point. That plane crash that took both her and her father's life. And she could not, pursue that dream. But over time, I've seen other WNBA players in the person of Angel Reese, Caitlin, and others clamoring for the same thing. Now, in the WNBA, it came to my notice that a player like LeBron James, in a season, earned at least $48 million, while the best player in the WNBA earned $500,000. How do we explain that? They played the same 90 minutes. Okay, in football, the same amount of time. In tennis, the same amount of time. In basketball, the same amount of time.
No,
right?
tennis not the same amount of time.
But women play the same amount of time.
No, in the Grand Slam is different. In the Grand Slam, the female go for best of two. That's 3 sets. Who wins 2 goes in the Grand Slam. Whereas the men go for best of 3. That's
and
in
yet,
5 sets. Who wins 3 goes okay.
And yet they earn the same amount of money.
Yeah.
But why is it that in football women play 90 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And the same amount of time men play, right? And they still earn less. So I don't want to believe it's all of this reason you've been giving me, saying, oh, women, if you give them more money or more power,
No. I said
they misuse it. No. I want to believe because men get more media.
That's it. I gave
women.
that. I said this one
Now,
is just another side.
why does men get more media coverage? Is another question. Don't you think as the media, if they can place women on a pedestal, women can still attract as much as men are attracting? I feel like it all starts with us in the end. Because...
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No. Remember, I told you about the play aspect of the game.
Okay.
The flair, the joy, the skills that are being exhibited in the game. The men does the entertainment in football. The entertainment industry in football is far more with the men than of the women. Why? Take, for example, Ronaldinho playing in somewhere in the pitch. And take, for example, the best female player in the female category playing. You and I, who would you go to watch?
I mean, I can watch both.
No, you need to choose a side. Tell me.
I don't want to answer that.
Or let's not even take Ronaldinho. Let's take a JJ Okocha.
Okay.
Because Ronaldinho learned from JJ Okocha. Mm-hmm. A JJ Okocha that you know. Mm. The Rolls Royce of football that you know.
Okay.
Playing, and then take for example, how they call this Nigerian, this our lady, this.
Asisa Oshola.
Yeah, Oshola.
I mean, I went to watch Asisa during was it the qualifiers?
No, I know you went there to watch the qualifiers. I'm asking now, if both of them are playing,
yeah.
Let's say one is playing here and the other one is playing there, who will you go to watch? No, be frank. Don't choose. Don't choose.
I mean,
don't take side because. Let's just examine our conscience.
If we are being honest, yeah. I feel like not just me, and I'm speaking about so many people, they'll rather watch Ronaldinho. Now, why is that? Let's go to the whys now. Because why? I remember at some point, I feel like they treat women football like charity instead of the sport that it is. And that's why. Because there's a game happening at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. Mm-hmm. And it's the Super Eagles against the Black Stars of Ghana. Yeah. The stadium is completely... In fact, literally, like, there's no space in the stadium. But when it's women's football, and people buy tickets to go watch.
Sure.
But when it's women's football, I notice the atmosphere is different. They even beg us to come and watch.
Yeah, they give you free invitation. Get inside.
No need to pay.
You don't need to pay.
And so it brings me back to what I said.
No, it's not.
Don't you think that women's football, women's sport, is being treated like charity more than a sport?
I want you to underline and cancel that word charity. Because
if you don't treat it like charity, I don't see why. They should beg people to watch.
The thing is, it's home support. That's why they were asking you guys. And why is it so? Because, like I was saying, entertainment, business, football is business. You get me? You can only put your money whereby you recover more of what you put. You understand? You cannot put your money whereby you will not gain anything. You put your money where you make profit. And the men football, it took football, it took FIFA a long period of time to get where they are today.
Sure.
So it would take FIFA too a bit of time to take the women football to that level. Yeah. That's why I said that there's a whole lot going on. You know, the game itself, the structure of the game, everything back then was designed for men. And that's why I said football is first of all a men thing before a women thing. But with time, to develop it, you know, I was shocked when you told me here that, because I didn't check on it. I was shocked here when you told me that it's 30 million against 400 and something million. It's a very big gap. It's a very big gap. I mean, for the World Cup, it's a very big gap. But what do we do then? We just need to keep working to see how we can develop the female football, to see that even if it's not equal like that of the men, but that gap, I think we should be talking about the gap, you know, the money gap between the two, rather than, and then the salary individuals, than talking about having equality in pay.
All right. Now, some may blame it on lack of sponsorships and endorsement deals. Female athletes often struggle to secure lucrative sponsorship or endorsement deals, which significantly impacts their overall earnings. While male athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James, Roger Federer, and have massive endorsement deals worth millions, we see female athletes like Serena Williams, Megan Rapinoe, Simone Biles, and less. Now, these are big names. Regardless of the sport, these are big people. Tennis has been, Serena Williams, she's one of the most decorated female athletes I grew up watching. She should have gotten to the point where she earns, when it comes to sponsorship and endorsement. I mean, players like Ronaldo.
Serena Williams is endorsed.
She's well endorsed. I get it. But can't she get to that level, considering her status?
She's at that level. Serena Williams is a billionaire. Serena is a billionaire. She's at that level. And one thing we should understand, why people keep talking about this thing, is that every logo that you find today, whether Adidas, every mark, every brand, whether Adidas, whether Nike, whether Lotto, whether Umbro, whether Coq Sportif, everything you see was created from a particular sport. And men were the ones. It took them time. You get me? And endorsing women, it's a gradual process. It will come. And when it comes, then we'll talk about equality then. But now, that inequality exists because it took them time preparing for this. Men worked hard for it. Women were not there. Sorry about that, but that's just the truth.
All right.
So now, we are trying to carry the women along. It's all about time. They should be patient. They keep taking federation to court, swing this, swing that, that and that and that, glamoring, you know, advocating for equality and that. It's not going to work that way. They should understand it, that their voices are being heard and they are working towards that. For example, in football, FIFA is working towards that. I can assure you that. FIFA is working towards bringing the pay, you know, bridging the gap of the pay, not that much, and, you know, it's a step at a time.
Well, the question on everyone's lips is, are they really working towards that? Or is it just, you know, mercy? Well, if you're enjoying what you're watching, please do not forget to send us messages across all our social media platforms. We go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking about how do we really get there. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Beyond the Game right here on the Idea Television. And we've been talking about fairness in sports with emphasis on equal pay between male and female athletes. And Coach has highlighted a lot why women earn less. As much as I don't agree with you, I see reasons. We talked about the fact that it took men football a long time to get to the place where they are now. And for women, it's a gradual process. But do you agree with me that regardless, women are superheroes?
Very,
They are
very.
doing a lot.
Very, very.
And if the men should earn as much as they do, I feel like if women can at least get, if it's 50% of what the men get, then it's fair enough. Not paying the male division for winning the World Cup, $440 million. And you pay the female division for winning the World Cup, $30 million, when they play the same amount of time as the men. Now, how do we curb this? How do we get to the point where women, we start, when the conversation comes up, equal pay between male and female athletes, we start to see, and not just the conversation of the fact that men has been there for a long time, women this, women that. We don't want to hear all of that. We just want to know, how do we curb this?
Okay. I think the first step to take is to actually, bring in TV right
Okay.
to the female football. We need to market them. We need to market the female football. At times, we need to actually bring in, elevate the club level. At the club level, we need to elevate, we need to raise the standard high up, via purchases of jerseys, sale of tickets, begin by cutting down the price of the ticket so that we can get more people
Coming to the stadium to watch the game. That's
the game.
true.
Yeah. And then we feel like giving some incentive, like some, how can I put it? I don't want to use the word subsidy. We need to give women some, should I say token? No, let me look for the right word. I think we need to give them some priority,
Okay.
some financial priority, as in, FIFA needs to, the money FIFA sends to every club in Africa, to manage the federations, like in CAF, like in NFF, they will send money to the NFF, like in CAF, they'll send money to CAF, like in other football association, that they send. They should be able to impose that money, to conditionalize that money to be used entirely, or maybe 80% of our money should be used for female football development.
Okay.
We also need to come out with female grassroots football entirely, not associated with, maybe make it a corporate, not corporate, entirely female football, grassroots female football, whereby only the female will be there. And then we need to inject in money so that they grow in that same standard with the men grassroots football academies. And then finally, we need to monetize the female football league.
Okay.
That's selling of shares, bringing in companies, taking companies towards that direction, like associating companies to a club. You understand? Whereby we branded.
Okay.
For example, let's say Heineken, perhaps let's say Guinness Stout, let's say Milo, let's say Nescafe, all those companies, we can associate each company to, the various clubs, sponsorship, whereby the jersey will be flocked with their logo and it will be marketed. You understand? It will bring in revenue.
I mean, I'm sure they have sponsorship, but they don't just get as much.
The sponsorship, that's what I'm talking about, how to get many sponsors.
Okay, can I give you an instance?
Yeah.
Now, the U.S. women's team, they are the most decorated female football team in world football, right? They've won they've won 4 World Cup and more than 7 gold in the Olympic, but yet they earn less than the male counterpart. And now, looking at the male team, they've done little or not in the World Cup. The best they've gotten to in the World Cup is the round of 16. I don't see why the U.S. men team should even earn as much as the women, because the women have done way more. And let's even bring it back to the WSL. Now, the Chelsea women's team, they've been dominating the WSL for the past 5 seasons. And the last time Chelsea, the male division, has won a league was in 2017 under Antonio Conte. If the Chelsea team brings up a case, it should be valid. Because for the past 5 seasons, they've been the one winning. Chelsea have won little or not. The last time they won the FA Cup was in 2018 against Manchester United. The last time, okay, yes, they won the Champions League in 2021, fine. But then they've not been consistent. But the women have been consistent, although they don't won the Champions League. But I feel like they are doing a lot. Women are thriving. Women are fighting for a place. Women are fighting to be heard. And I feel like, for me, if you ask me, we need women in sports, big personality, like the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We know if a player like Zlatan Ibrahimovic talks, people listen. If a coach like Jose Mourinho talks, people listen. We want strong characters in the female division. And I feel like until we get to that point where women speak up more, they might not be heard.
No. Women are really being heard. Like you earlier said, women are doing a lot, And women are even much more stronger than men.
Yes.
I mean, biologically, women are stronger than men.
I mean, women carry children.
That's it. A man
For 9
cannot.
months.
Yeah, a man cannot. So that's why when you said men are stronger than women, I said no. Women are stronger than men in every ramification, except in football.
All right, no problem. Well, any final words from you, Coach, before we end the show?
Well, like I said, we are working towards that, girls, ladies. We are working towards that, and be less assured that you will get there. We'll see how those things, FIFA is working towards that for football, and other federations and associations are working towards seeing that it becomes not actually the same, but that gap, that wide gap shouldn't be there. Thank you.
Well, the continued visibility of women athletes, increased sponsorship, and fairer media coverage are vital components in achieving equal pay for equal play. I feel like men and women, even if we don't ever get to a point where women earn as much as men in some sports, I feel like women should earn at least half of what men earn. But are we ever going to get to the point where women earn? Maybe not anytime soon. But hopefully, sometime in the future, women can earn as much as what the men earn in sports. That's the much we can take on the show for today. My name is Tiara Stumba. We'll see you next time.